Bobby spent the weekend in Texas, first San Antonio and then Austin for the Raging Idiots shows. He also found a random girl's ID after singing some karaoke post-Austin show. He posted on her on Instagram, and he got it back to her super quickly.
That's right. Got it back. Cool. I can give you that story later, but one, she also wasn't very happy with me, but I can tell you that later. I think she was more happy with me than she wasn't, but a part of her wasn't very happy with me. I just found her ID in the parking lot. I was like, I'm going to do a good Samaritan thing and take it, put it in my pocket, take it back to my place.
Right.
Share it.
Yeah.
We'll talk about that coming up. I'll say this. The shows were fantastic. It's mostly a comedy show with a little bit of music in it. But we're playing Amarillo and El Paso this weekend, and we had to have the conversation, do we still go to El Paso after the shootings that were there? And to us, it was like, yeah, of course we go. We should go. And so that was definitely a conversation for us, was do we still go to El Paso? Is it too soon? I think had it been a week earlier, we probably wouldn't have. But I think we should go back. We kind of owe it to them to go.
Yeah.
If you buy tickets and you want to come and laugh, then we'll be there. So Amarillo and El Paso this weekend.
And you will laugh.
Yeah, Amy. We can talk about it in a little bit. But Amy was surprised so much, so I was a little bit offended.
Don't be offended.
In a good way. Amy was surprised at how good the show was.
Really?
Later
Don't be offended.
Okay.
But she was like, it was so good. And I'm like, but what did you? Because it's not just music. It really is comedy.
Yeah.
It's like definitely more in the wheelhouse. But we'll talk about it later.
Okay.
But a little bit. He said it like 3 times. She kept coming going, it was so good. And I'm like, what did you expect it to be? A QVC commercial?
Listen, it's different. And yes, we'll get into it later, but it's a different show. One like I haven't seen y'all do before. So there's that component. And there's also that I'm with y'all every day. Like some of the stuff you would think like, I'm like, okay, some people,
we can
when
get
you're
old.
with people all the time, things just aren't always as funny,
But this was.
Yeah.
Okay.
We'll take it, Bones.
We'll see about that. I find a way to be offended at everything Amy says to me, so we'll see about that. What else you got for Amy over there?
Amy, she spent the weekend with high school friends, and it got her excited for her 20-year reunion later this year. She also tried a White Claw for the first time.
Oh, yes, I did. Same night. My high school friends and I, we were like, is this like the Zima of today? Because that was like the popular drink back when we were younger. But I mean, yeah, it was so fun. Saw them on Friday night. They came to Stevenson's birthday party, and it was like, oh my gosh, we got our 20-year reunion coming up. So it was fun to see everybody.
All right, what else you got?
Lunchbox took Baby Box to his first ever parade, and they tried a new Mexican restaurant in town called Super Ica,
yeah, something like that. My wife loves Tex-Mex, so whenever, I guess she has a little app on her phone, whenever a new Tex-Mex restaurant opens up, she gets an alert, and we go to it that night.
Well, they got an app for everything. Holy
wow.
cow. What about Eddie?
And Eddie went to dinner with Bobby before their Raging Idiot show, and a listener picked up their check without telling them.
That's true. We never found out who it was.
It's crazy, right?
We went to a place called Polvo's, which we've been to many times.
Yep.
But Eddie and I walked over from the venue, and we ate. We were rushing out pretty quick, too.
Yeah, we had to get back. And then we asked to pay for the check. We get the check, and they're like, oh, it's taken care of by someone over there. They said they really appreciate us, so they're going to pay for our dinner.
We couldn't find it. So whoever that was,
Thank you.
We appreciate that. And then it's the weird thing for me, because I was picking up the check, and I was like, well, I have to tip. And so I'm like, but can I get a bill to tip on so I can just write? Because if there's no bill, how do you? So luckily I had some cash in my wallet, and I was like, how much do you want? And so I was just like, is this? Because if they
asked your server how much do you want?
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
And they never know how to respond.
No, I mean, how awkward.
They never know how to. So I'm like, how much do you want? And then they never know how to respond. So
did they say, well, how much you got?
Well, like
that would be the best.
That would be the best one.
Right.
Yeah. I hooked it up because I had I thought the bill was gonna be about $60.
Mm-hmm.
So I had that in cash.
Yeah.
And so I just gave that because I was like, that's what the bill would have been anyway. So
That's
I tipped her
amazing.
$60, and they pay. Everybody won.
Yes.
We got free food. The listener did something nice. The waitress got a big tip.
Yeah.
Everybody won.
It's a good night.
So it was good. Morgan, number 2, anything else?
Nope, that's it. That's the show, Skinny.
All right.
It's a Bobby Bones show.